Psycap August. This is what, our 13th, 14th Psycap? Something like that. Doing that for a while. We are excited to be joined today by some lovely content panels. We've got a content panel on diversity and inclusion, a content panel on the big boards, and we've got Solera Biosciences presenting, Mind Biotherapeutics, and Mindset Pharma. Richard, why don't you introduce yourself to potentially some new audience members and let people know what's been happening in the industry this month.
Absolutely. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I mean, it's our biggest Psycap to date, which is incredible to say it's August, usually the month where everybody goes to sleep. But 1,450 people signed up for today's Psycap. Good number of people we can see are joining us virtually right now. And of course, a lot of people will watch this at their leisure, as indeed you can do if you're watching this right now. You've got the ability to rewind the fun whenever you fancy it. If you wanted to join in the conversation on Twitter, then the hashtag is Psycap on Twitter. And as always, if you're wanting to pose any questions to our panelists, please don't use the chat. It could get lost in there. There is a Q&A function just to the side of the chat function. Please use that. If your question is upvoted, then it will be put to the panelists. So yeah, please use the Q&A function rather than the actual chat function if you've got a question that you want to ask any one of our panelists. Welcome to everybody who's just joining us. Like I said, it's our biggest Psycap so far. And if it's your very first Psycap, or maybe you're a veteran of one of the, we've lost count, 14 shows we've done now, then welcome. Whilst this has been a very busy one for us, August is always a bit of a quiet month. We were trying to pick out some highlights of things which have been happening during August. Cybin successfully listed on New York Stock Exchange Americas, trading very well. Fantastic day of trading yesterday. And of course, Doug Drysdale will be joining us a little bit later on. He's the CEO of Cybin, and he'll be talking about what life is like on the big boards, alongside Ronan Levy from Field Trip, who also very successfully listed onto a big board. They found themselves on the NASDAQ. So both Ronan and Doug, two of the biggest names in the psychedelics industry, will be joining us a little bit later on. Some other interesting things which have happened in the space. If you are looking to join the Microdose team and you're all about all things community, then a perfect role for you. And that is our head of community role. Patrick, where can people find out more information about the head of community role?
I am going to go ahead and pull up a link to that. So if you give me 2 seconds, I'll pop it in the chat.
I'll keep talking. Head of community role, you get to lead the voice of Microdose across all of the amazing virtual events that we do, all of the media that we put out there, the reports, the training, and of course what we'll be talking about a little bit later on is happening in Miami in November when Microdose takes the show on the road for Wonderland Miami. Some other big announcements which have happened during the month of August. Congratulations to the wonderful people at Beckley SciTech for closing off a whopper of a B round. August is always a very tough month to be closing off your financings. And I say that as a venture capitalist because most venture capitalists apparently like to spend the summer on their yachts. Not that I do, because I don't have a yacht. But congratulations to Beckley SciTech. Very large, oversubscribed financing. Amazing company. And just some news from us at the Conscious Fund, where I am one of the partners, if we've yet to meet. We have 5 new deals that we're going to be announcing over the next couple of weeks. Some of them we did quite some time ago, but they've wanted to keep all things in stealth. So yeah, 5 new transactions for us. We certainly haven't slowed down during the month of August. Patrick,
what total transaction count does that take you guys to?
That takes 21 transactions.
Beautiful.
There's very well-known ones in there, from Cybin at the seed round to Atai across a number of rounds of financing. Luminous, one of the very first companies to go public, and of course some interesting and very successful and profitable businesses in that portfolio, including Microdose and also our artificial intelligence and machine learning team, April 19, who will be announcing just what they've been up to over the last couple of months, also very, very shortly. We've had to keep that one very much under wraps. So, last PsyCap, we did the sort of partial reveal. We told you where the venue was. We gave you a little bit of a look through on the venue, but now everything is out in the public domain. We put the tickets on sale on Friday. They've been selling exceptionally well. If you haven't yet booked your ticket, then we have a limited number of early bird tickets available for the 8th and the 9th of November. This is Microdose Wonderland, 2 days of education and enlightenment. What else have we got going off Wonderland, Patrick? What have I missed?
Let's talk about the extracurriculars. So it's going to be a 2-day conference. The show hours will be 10 to 6 both days. So you've got a little bit of extra time in the morning to wake up and get your coffee on. On the Sunday night, to welcome everybody, we're going to have a VIP speaker drinks reception where all of our speakers, close partners, and VIP ticket holders are going to be present for a welcoming celebration. And then on Monday night, we're going to be doing the Microdose Awards. That's going to be our first annual. We'll run those yearly beyond there. These are going to be People's Choice Awards. So if you feel like submitting somebody for a category, somebody that should get some recognition in the industry, if you go to the Microdose website under the Miami section, you'll find the awards application forms. So we'll be doing
30 awards, which are
30 categories, I believe, yeah, across the whole category, covering people's, companies, that kind of thing. So that'll be Monday night. I believe it's, 8 to 10 o'clock for the award show?
Something like that, yeah. And we're working on some pretty interesting people to join us as the presenters for those awards. Of course, one of the things we haven't yet done is announce any of the speakers.
Or any of the sponsors.
Or any of the sponsors, and I believe all of the sponsorships have now gone. Patrick, we've locked and loaded all of the sponsors.
We're at about 80% or so.
About 80%. Some incredible organisations. We're very grateful for your support, and we will be having booths and experience hubs. And I think all of the experience hubs have now been allocated, but you may have a couple of booths which are left.
Yeah. So we're doing it on a reservation system. Basically, you put yourself in line to get your preferred partnership. So most of the sponsorships are gone. The premium hubs are gone. The rooms are gone. But we do have premium booths, regular booths, and some lower tier sponsorships still available.
Fantastic. And one of the things that we really wanted to do when we were programming this event from a speaker perspective is really take on the views of the psychedelic community. So we're still open to speaker suggestions. We haven't yet locked down who is speaking in every single slot. We've got a mixture of keynotes, a mixture of firesides, of panels. We will have a startup pitch as well. We're going to announce a little bit more about that soon. We're going to be condensing as many companies as we can into a short period of time on the wonderful stage in Miami. And there'll be an opportunity, if you're out there wanting to raise money or share with the community who are there what you're doing, then there'll be an opportunity to present yourself at Wonderland in Miami. And one of the other things that we've been doing as well is making sure that this event is accessible to everybody who wants to attend. It's a very expensive event for us to put on, very high production values, and we'll touch a little bit on some of the things that we're doing from a production perspective. But we have allocated a pretty large, significant number of tickets to equitable access. So if you are a student, if you are a researcher, if you're working for an NGO, if you're working for a not-for-profit, if you're working for a charity, maybe you're an advocate, you know, somebody who would love to come to this event, but the ticket price, you know, and you're not going to get the ticket paid for by your employer, then have no shame. Please reach out. We want to see if we can help you. We've had a good number of people who've already reached out. Nobody will know at the event whether you've paid for your ticket or you've had your ticket for free. So you don't get a different coloured badge or a different coloured wristband. You'll just blend in with the paying public. So yeah, if you would like to raise your hand and ask for a equitable access ticket, then you can do that on the Microdose website right now.
Yeah, and then in terms of, do you want to maybe touch on our COVID protocols and how we're doing that safely and making sure?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for those who don't know, my background many, many years ago, before I became a venture capitalist, was somebody putting on live events. So this has always been, like, for me, a dream. Unfortunately, this dream sort of just started to manifest as the world was going into a lockdown. And we realized we were going to be able to do this, but a lot of things would have to change for us to be able to deliver a safe and successful event. So it will be a requirement when you arrive at the venue or near the venue. There will be a couple of different locations that you take a rapid COVID test. We will be providing all of those tests and the testing infrastructure, and there's COVID-19 compliance officers working across the event. So every single person will be coming along into the event having been tested for COVID-19. If, God forbid, you should test positive, then we have also built in a number of, let's call them safety nets for you, because again, you know, if your company is going to pay for your isolation, yes, it's deeply frustrating, but it's not coming out of your pocket. If it was to come out of your pocket, then we have a scheme in place where we will cover those costs up to a certain limit. We've made it very simple. We've made it very fair. It's all detailed on the website. So, you know, we realize that for a lot of people, this will be the first time that they've stepped into a big room for possibly 2 years. So, you know, please be rest assured that we're putting a huge amount of focus on the safety of everybody who attends this event. We don't want to get into politicized discussions around Miami and all of that. We're focused on what we are doing and how we can deliver a safe event for everybody who joins us at Wonderland. A couple of other questions which we regularly get asked. Will there be partner hotels? Yes, there will. So there'll be certain hubs where people are invited to pick your own hotel, but there are certain hotels which people will be using, and we have special rates in place. And you'll be provided details of the partner hotels once you have purchased your ticket to attend Wonderland. I guess the only thing which is up in the air at the moment is whether we are going to do an after party or a number of after parties.
17 after parties.
Well, having just done a VIP event on the Sunday, a full day on the Monday, the Microdose Awards on the Monday night, a whole day of programming on the Tuesday, the idea of having to then put on a 2,000 capacity after party with so many eclectic tastes in music and audio levels is quite terrifying. But we've had a lot of people saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool if there was an after party or a number of after parties? So it's up in the air at the moment. We've got to work out if it's something that we can continue to do in a safe and organised manner. But never say never is all I'm going to say at this moment in time.
So with that being said, just sort of flagging the time here at 10:45 because I'm on the West Coast now. We've got one no, 12 yeses for the after party, so a pretty decisive victory, and they're pouring in for yes. With that being said, we're gonna segment over to our first sponsor panel. It's going to be Celera Biosciences. Thank you, Rich,
pleasure,
for joining us for the intro, and thank you, everybody, for joining live. We'll
Enjoy the
catch
show.
you on the next panel here.